Good morning, Eagles fans, and good morning, NFL fans, to week 15 of the 2018 football season, where this week our Eagles are a little down, but not out, and stay on the road, travel to Los Angeles to play the high-flying Los Angeles Rams. Now, you guys know I did travel out to Dallas, Texas to go watch my Birds in a fight for first place in the NFC East against the Dallas Cowboys. And there's a tale of two halves for my team, where first half we didn't score any points whatsoever. It's a theme that's played out this entire season, where we're having a hard time getting going. But as the game progressed on, we found some ways and even scored some points to the place of getting the game to go into overtime, where the feeling was whoever won the coin flip was probably going to win the game. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, we know, just looking at the video that I just recently posted, Dallas went down the field, and Amari Cooper, which torched us all the way up until that point, had the victory bounce touchdown grab to seal the win. Lots of stuff to learn from the game. Yes, I will bring up the two calls that were, I don't even want to call it questionable. Yeah, as fans, we want some level of accountability for referees that call plays that could potentially change the outcome of the game that much. That being the beginning kickoff where Malcolm Jenkins hit the guy. He fumbled. Obviously, they still call him down by contact, but then when we had the challenge, and then you looked at the pileup on the ball, it was only Eagles players on the pileup. So the game could have been a little different. Who knows? The game could have been a little different if that ball was awarded to us. Football people, I understand the game is already played. You can't go back in time, but at least just be honest about that play, that was a bad call, like happens with every team, along with the pass interference call on Dallas Goedert when he should have had a 75-yard touchdown grab, and instead they call an offensive pass interference on a swim move that he used while getting hit in the face twice. Nothing was called there. Very questionable, something that does make people feel a little bit more bitter, or like things are out of control in a bad way with officiating. And like I said, all teams run into this at some point. I know years ago it was the catch rule on Dez Bryant, which I didn't agree with as well. So just got to deal with it. I mean, you can sit around and cry about it all day, or you can move on over and just deal with the things that you have control over. And the things that we did have control over during that game was running the football and creativity as well. But running the football, I mean, this is part of the narrative that we have learned this entire season, where when we don't run the ball at least 20 times a game, we don't win. Now, we only ran 40-something, 42 to 45 plays or so on offense, and Dallas doubled up on us. They ran 90-something plays. I mean, Zeke ran 28 times. That's almost a majority of plays we ran. And Dak passed it for like 54 attempts. So obviously, if you allow the other team to control the clock and control the ball, it's going to limit the time that you have to score, and it's going to wear down your defense, and that's exactly what happened. But like I said, we got to move on, because two key losses where Cleveland beat the Carolina Panthers and Seattle beat the Minnesota Vikings. Crazy as it might sound, our Birds are a half game out of the final wild card spot, which, who knew at 6-7 we're actually going to be sitting here and still alive. And listening to sports talk radio and what people are saying a little bit, because I kind of tune out that noise. Everybody's talking the same way that we did last year when Wentz was out, because as we know, Carson Wentz has a broken back. I didn't think I was going to say that this year. I thought we were going to talk about his knee or him coming back from injury and becoming full strength. Carson Wentz has a broken back. With all the different injuries we've had this year, it makes me wonder what's going on with our medical staff. I could go down a list of players on our injury reserve list, or players that were supposed to come back. I mean, like Sproles and Mac Hollins, and you look at guys that have gone out injured and it was supposed to be a week or two, and it's turned into most of the season, if not the entire season. It makes me wonder what we're doing as an organization to take care of our players and to identify injuries early so we can minimize the damage long term, not just for the sake of getting on the field, but also these are real people that have families. I mean, Wentz just got married. I'm pretty sure he wants to use his back for more than just football. So we got questions to answer, more than just football. I never thought I'd be talking about our medical staff week 15 in not such a great way. And also our running backs. I mean, people are out now. Corey Clement, he's out. So now we had to pick a guy, Boston Scott from the Saints. So yes, now we have a guy named Dallas and another guy named Boston on our team. Okay, but now we are forced to start picking people from other teams' practice squads to fill a roster to be a level of competitive. Looking at the tapes, yes, we can try to find some silver lining and saying, okay, this guy is going to come in and do whatever, but think about it, he hasn't gone to any of our camps. He hasn't been acclimated with our blocking schemes, whatever. So we're in a very tough spot this week, and especially playing the Los Angeles Rams. Everybody knows exactly what the Rams are about, and they're about scoring points and then spreading you thin and airing it out. And against a team that has a depleted secondary and having a hard time running the ball and controlling the clock, it looks like a recipe for disaster. But in come Nick Foles. Now, you guys have been watching my channel for a long time, especially last year. You know exactly how I feel about Nick Foles. I know some people don't even like that I bring up the fact that I think the Eagles will depend more on other aspects of the game, which is going to force them to get more creative than when Carson Wentz is playing, because it seems as if when Carson Wentz is playing, they put a lot on his shoulders and allow for him to try to win the whole thing by himself, and that's what causes us to not run the ball like we need to. But with Nick Foles, as he might be not as talented as Carson Wentz, he might lean on these other aspects more, which will allow for us to become more successful. And that's what I'm looking for. But the greatest thing that I'm looking for is actually mentality. It bothers me. It physically actually bothers me. I can go into all these other X's and O's, but I'm talking about mentality. It physically bothers me that people say that we don't have a chance, and not just the outsiders, some people inside. People that are wearing green. Because yes, first off, we heard this last year, and we all know how that ended up. But this is still the same calendar year where we went on that magical run and proved everybody wrong. And it seems like it didn't take us that long to forget. I mean, heck, Nick Foles came out with a book called Believe It after his victory. Yes, I did get my copy, and thank you, Nick Foles, for signing it. But have we forgotten so quick what's possible? I'm not going to sit here and guarantee anything, and I'm not crazy in that aspect, but do we have a chance? Yes, we do. I mean, Carolina plays New Orleans twice and Atlanta. I'm pretty sure, I feel like they're at least in for 2 losses. And the Vikings, yeah, they have some divisional games against the Bears, against the Lions. Like, it's possible for them to lose too. So we got to win to stay relevant and maybe go on another run. I think it's possible. This is the kind of mentality I'm looking for my fellow Eagles fans, and especially something that I bring to the table no matter what. These are the times that we prove what kind of fans we are. Not when we're out in the front with an 11-2 record or so, #1 seed in the playoffs, and it looks like we're going to cruise or we're going to have a favorable matchup. Now's the time when the chips are down, when you're down and out. I mean, this is a city that we have Rocky as a movie, I understand, that when everybody counted them out, It only took one or two people to believe in him himself to go on a run and do something great. And yes, that's a movie, but we did it on the football field last year. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Eagles fans to show up in LA like we did last year. I'm looking for us to be loud regardless of our record. I'm looking for us to play with a chance. Run the football, play tough, because the season's not over yet. Mathematically, we're still in, which means it doesn't change for me either. I'm still hyped, I still believe, and I think my Birds can come home with a victory against the Los Angeles Rams. So win or lose, you know at the very least exactly how I roll and what kind of fan that I am. I'm gonna be down here rooting on my team from Philadelphia to Los Angeles. Hopefully they'll be able to hear me from my couch. And I'm gonna continue to believe no matter what. I bleed green no matter what the record is. I think we have a shot. And I think this is what shows our heart. Show we're not bandwagon fans. We're in all the way, and I'm gonna ride all the way to the end this season and the next. So let's go Birds, let's go do this. Let's give LA their second loss in a row, and let's keep our playoff hopes alive and do this and believe. Choose to believe no matter what the obstacle is. Let's bring home a victory, baby. Go Birds! E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Beat the Rams! Come on, baby!